Formula One has left the European circuit and now starts the Asia runs. Welcome back to the Singapore Grand Prix. Not many races were made on the calendar then in the Singapore Grand Prix this weekend before we head over to Japan in 7 days' time. Qatar takes us into October, along with a sprint race both there and at the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. October rounds out with the Mexico Grand Prix before we go to Brazil, Las Vegas, and then the season rounds out in Abu Dhabi. Can't crown it here, but can do it in Japan. Max Verstappen is on the verge of his third world title. Sergio Perez in second on 219 points. Both of them, however, could wrap up the Constructors' Championship. More on that later. Fernando Alonso is ahead of Lewis Hamilton from Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. George Russell ahead of Lando Norris. And then we get Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon in 11th. On the second page, Oscar Piastri with 12th, and then it's Alexander Albon ahead of Hülkenberg, Bottas, Zhou Guanyu's just re-signed for another year with Alfa Romeo, then ahead of Tsunoda and Magnussen, the last points pairers. Further down, Sargent, Lawson, De Vries and Ricciardo, still no points. De Vries no longer in the championship, Ricciardo out with a broken hand. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way and could wrap up the championship this weekend. More on that later. Mercedes on 273 points, Ferrari 228. The fight is on for second. Then it's Aston Martin ahead of McLaren, who've moved back ahead of Alpine. Williams now 10 clear of Haas, who are a point clear of Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri still on 3. Let's take a look around this Singapore street circuit in Marina Bay. Modified for the third time in its career, this latest version is faster than ever. Get a good exit out of the last corner and boot towards the line. Down towards turn 1 then, very heavy on the braking zone as well. Braking around about 60 metres, flick the car into the left, a right, another tight left. It's a sort of a straight line you've got to navigate with some corners. Good exit, which gives you a run down towards the Kinkert turn 4 that leads you down Raffles Boulevard and the first of the DRS zones. Open it up and control the exit. Try and keep as close to the wall as you possibly can, but keep a complete straight line to the hard braking zone of turn number 6. Flip the car up as well on the curb. 7 and 8 now coming up against you as well. Incredibly tightens up. The narrowness of it gets really tight. Just come through turn 9. Out now towards turn 10. The old Singapore sling past the hotel as well on the right hand side. Flick the car in as you now approach into the Anderson Bridge. Used to go over the left side, now we go over the right side as you hurtle down the brakes in towards turn number 12. New section of the track coming up then as well. No longer do we go underneath the famous part where Nelson Piquet crashed in 2008. Now it's a straight line coming out of turn number 14. Hurtle it down, not a DRS zone, but there's where you used to turn off. Now it's a straight run down. Should be very easy to overtake, but it comes up with a very heavy braking zone into the original chicane. Down at now 18 and 19. It's going to be very interesting to see how this part of the track shapes up. Last 2 corners, flick the car through, accelerate to the line. It's around 10 seconds faster than the new Marina Bay circuit. Hello everybody and welcome up to the commentary box for the first practice session of the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix. To begin with, apologies, we are not live on JB Motorsports 1. Dorna having a block means that we can't live stream the Singapore round this weekend. Thanks Dorna, as per usual. But we've got the Twitch channel where we're always simulcasting now as well, and we also have JB Motorsports 2. We'll also be on USRN this weekend as per normal, so it's going to be an interesting weekend to say the least. But we have got a race weekend to do, and I'd like to say hello to everybody who is also watching on JB Motorsports 1 when we premiere this video, because how it's going to work this weekend is immediately after the session, it's going to be uploaded to YouTube, premiered on the main JB Motorsports 1. At the end of that, you'll be redirected to practice 2 here on JB Motorsports 2, and then tomorrow vice versa for practice 3 and qualifying. The race, though, you'll have to remember, it is on JB Motorsports 2 live on YouTube, and it is on Twitch as well. All the new social cards are available at the start of each stream. You can see where all our new stuff is. We're on Instagram now as well. That's going to get kicked up throughout the weekend. New name on Twitter, because it's now at JB Motorsports X. On Instagram at JB Motorsports IG. On TikTok at JB Motorsport. So we've pretty much rebranded everything, ready to go. Alongside me in the commentary box for this first session is Omi. About a minute and a half to go, Omi. Welcome back up. Well, this is going to be a very interesting weekend. Thanks to Donna last weekend, it kind of feels like never wasting our time, but it kind of feels like all our hard work is just a little bit down at the moment. So it's going to be a weird weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna be a weird one. Big thanks to Donna for that. Really, really annoying. But still, we're gonna bring you all of the action. Everything will be on here, the second channel, and also the Twitch as well. So our excitement isn't gonna stop. We're just gonna keep broadcasting, and we'll be back next week to normal.
Absolutely, and speaking of normal, should we get into the swing of it as well? Let's cross over to Simon Lazenby for the details of this weekend.
Quick whiz through the details for this weekend here on Sky Sports F1. The second practice session is from 1:45. F1 show following that immediately from 3:15. Saturday qualifying is from 1 o'clock. With the third practice from 10:15, and on Sunday 11:30 for your race start at 1 o'clock. And if you'd prefer, Braden, Scott and Zach will return F1 Kids on the red button for commentary for the race. Let's head up to the commentary box.
Max Verstappen had a lizard here a couple of years ago across the circuit in first practice. At the start of this commentary, I looked down and there's a toad just below my feet in the commentary box walking out towards the door. Well, if Kermit the Frog doesn't like my commentary, I can see why Donna blocked us. Good afternoon, everybody. If you're here in Marina Bay, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to round 15 of the 2023 FIA Formula One World Championship. It's the Marina Bay Street Circuit. For the 15th time in Formula One, we go racing at this great layout as well. 4.940 kilometres as well. And this year, the original night circuit looks a little bit different. No longer have we got that controversial segment where Nelson Piquet crashed in 2008, which was 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19. Now a straight run opposite Raffles Boulevard down towards the new chicane at 16 and 17. Pirelli have brought the fastest tyre compounds here, the C5 red, the C4 medium and the C3 hard compound tyre. Track should be around about 9 seconds faster than last year. The race now at 62 laps as well. And the first practice session under the setting sun here in Marina Bay. Air temperature 32 degrees, 89 Fahrenheit. Track temperature 45 degrees, 113 Fahrenheit. 61% is the humidity as well. And coming into it, the wind blowing in from the southeast. Well, it's a beautiful city, both in daylight and under the lights as well. We're all set to go. Fingers crossed it's going to be a very interesting weekend, and hopefully as well we get a lot of exciting running, Omi, as the track has changed due to the building work. You can still see the original grandstand there, no longer in use, but this new layout, faster, should create more overtaking, and in a 2-hour Grand Prix that always goes to the distance, I think that's rather good, don't you?
Yep, absolutely. So hopefully we are going to get a bit more action as well. We're hopefully going to see quite a lot more overtakes as well with this new layout. So going to be really, really interesting to see, because if you can't get the move done into turn 14, then maybe you can kind of set it up and then get it done into the 16-17 chicane. So going to be really, really interesting to see how it improves the racing.
So, first up then is the hour practice session. As I said, it is slightly irrelevant because the conditions are vastly changing to what we will have for the Grand Prix on Sunday. They're going to head out there as well on the hardest tyre available, because you don't want to use your soft sets in these conditions because it just makes no sense. You want to save that run for later on. Across the next hour, we'll be bringing you updates from around the F1 world as well. And I know we are live on Twitch and JB Motorsports 2 this weekend. So welcome along if it's your first time watching. Pleasure to have you here as well. Get sharing that we are here this weekend. The main YouTube channel, JB Motorsports 1, that will be airing the weekend still, but it will be as delayed coverage. So it'll be highlights after the fact. But the whole session's going to get uploaded. We're recording it. It'll get uploaded and then premiere, and then you'll automatically be redirected to practice 2. So if you're watching this on the main YouTube channel, just as after the fact, just wait to the end. You'll get redirected. Jess says, hey, I am lurking whilst I'm working. Lucky finishing ahead of FP2. Hello, Jess. Nice to have you back. Jess with us this weekend as well. And my thanks to Jess, actually, for providing us with the lap attack guide this weekend and the nose cam footage. Very much saved our bacon because we didn't have the ability to do it here. There's Joe Granu. His contract has been extended with Alfa Romeo until the end of the 2024 season, but Alfa Romeo are leaving Formula One. The team will go back to being called Sauber, which was the original, as they go there. Took loads of attempts, Jess says, as well, to get that lap attack right. Green light, though, is on, and the first practice session is underway for the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix. So away we go. It's the most confusing Grand Prix layout because it's the Singapore Airlines Singapore Grand Prix, so it likes to go forward. We've had that earlier on this year, actually, with another race being called that. There is Liam Lawson, still debutising for Daniel Ricciardo, who is here this weekend, but still suffering with his broken wrist. He's got a lot of stitches in it as well. Also found out he's a Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo fan recently as well. So there's nothing that Danny Rick can't do. Sergio Perez, though, has had some controversy. Not him himself, but Helmut Marko with the racist comments he made. He's apologised in person, but Sky were talking about it just before we come on air. How much longer can Helmut Marko just keep sprouting this nonsense and nobody stops him? Because it's getting a little bit ridiculous now. He never says anything bad about Max. It's always about the second drivers alongside him. And now the comments have turned incredibly racist towards Sergio Perez.
Honestly, at this stage, just honestly sack him. There's no really point of him in the team. Just get rid of him, honestly. I think I've had enough as well. And if you don't like Perez, just really sack him. Don't just keep saying some bad and rude stuff to him as well, and racist comments as well, because that's not really going to help him at all, is it, with his confidence at all? So that's not helping him. So I don't know what else is he trying to do with these messages, except just trying to ruin the second driver's confidence as well.
Helmut Marko, of course, advisor to Red Bull on the racing side. He's officially employed by Red Bull Global, which is the parent company, not the Red Bull Motorsport division. So it's very hard for the team to sort of have a go at him. It used to be Dietrich Mateschitz and then Helmut Marko. That was sort of the level at the top. And then since Dietrich Mateschitz passed away, it became Helmut Marko sort of became untouchable at the team. 10 to the pits.
It's gone down to just 32.
Just
Ted.
32. Well, easy life we've got down here. But while you know, every one of these mechanics, 60 or so mechanics from 10 teams, are sweating under the incredible humidity and the heat down here, the determination is the same thing: to be there at the end of the race, because that is where you might pick up points. And I think you're riding with Fernando Alonso. They have a little upgrade on the Aston Martin, but Alonso's ambitions this weekend are sky high. So just bear that in mind. While Ferrari might think that they're not going to be as competitive as they were in Monza, Mercedes think they're going to be more competitive than they were at Monza. Fernando Alonso thinks he's headed for maybe even the result that he had, same kind of result he had in Zandvoort a couple of races ago, which of course was second. So Alonso thinks they've got the pace in that Aston Martin to be there. But this session, so the drivers were saying earlier on this weekend, is all about getting their eye in, getting their confidence in themselves, rather than doing any meaningful setup work.
Great stuff. Thank you, Ted, for the moment. Very pleased to see Jack Doohan in the commentary box here with us as well. How much, Jack, would you like to be out driving right now?
I mean,
love to be on track right now, but can you hear me now?
Yes,
Sorry
I can
about
hear
that.
you now.
Yes,
Yep.
I would love to be. It's a circuit that I've played on video games and done much similar to work around, so that would be amazing to get around another street circuit.
What's it like? What's the challenge like when you've got a session like this that's so early on in the day and then you race in the dark?
Yeah, you know, it's so much evolution. There'll be temperatures of track evolution as well as a lot of grip level changes as well. So as well, this will be like a 10 lap to 12 lap run as well, where we'll be jumping down to, you know, 1 lap runs later when we're getting onto the soft tyre. So the difference is just massive.
Yeah, so from my side, there's always lots of things that you change in the car that maybe people aren't aware of when you go between the P1 and the P2 session. So here you'll be changing things like the brightness of your dash or the visor that you have on. Just explain a little bit of how those interactions happen for a driver.
Yeah, it's completely different. Now, obviously, the sun will be coming down, so you'll still be running a dark visor when preferably you wouldn't when you wanted to. So things are going to change. Even your references are going to slightly change with the evolution of the track, but also you're visually going to be starting to see things from a different perspective.
Jack, just coming back to it, obviously you're an Alpine reserve driver but racing in F2, 4th in the championship at the moment. Seems like it's been a bit of an up and down season. You've had some brilliant weekends where you've racked up a whole lot of points, and then others which have been less fortunate, should we say. So where do you go from here? Because you've got a gap to the final round, I believe, in Abu Dhabi.
Yes,
and
it's a very lengthy gap. But you know, I'm very privileged to be here with the team and for the remainder of the season. So I'll be at every round, getting to spend more and more time with the team, and then get to race obviously in Abu Dhabi. It's 2.5 months away, so it's a very lengthy gap. But I'll be getting behind the wheel a little bit in the A521 as well, so at least I won't be fully out of the car.
So you've got some FP1s coming up, we believe, as well, isn't it, later this year?
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I'll let the team do the announcing.
Oh, right, sorry, was there someone else? Have I just announced something here?
Well, no, I mean, in theory, they have to put somebody in, don't they? For is it 2 more sessions
Yes,
you've got to
there's
do
2
now?
obliged sessions.
You're sitting there ready and waiting to get in the car. So we're going to assume that you'll be in for a couple of those, shall we?
Yeah, if I was tuning in Mexico and Abu Dhabi, someone told me. But yeah, that would be kind of cool. But you know, that's what I'm here to do. I'm also here ready to jump in the car whenever I can. So to do those 2 sessions would be very cool.
So in a normal session like this, when you're not up here with us, we're very glad that you're up here with us. Are you down in the garage listening to the feedback from the drivers and trying to pick up little things to bring back to any simulator that you run into it?
Yeah, as well with my suit, my hands, my helmet ready to go.
Just ready,
I need to
just
jump
ready.
in mid-session. But no, seriously, yes. Really trying to see from my perspective behind, you know, sitting in the center console there, trying to see things, looking at other people's live data as well as their live onboard, seeing any different lines, different curbs they're able to take, anything that I can even a little bit feedback to their engineers to see, to add, to help at all. But yeah, I'm really trying to also further my understanding and experience of a track like Singapore, which potentially could yield me big time in the future.
We've seen someone from your part of the world, Liam Lawson, jump in as a reserve, get an opportunity to make his debut. Because, I mean, I traveled the world in 2011 as a reserve driver. It was an incredibly frustrating year because you're standing around waiting for an opportunity. You know, but seeing things like that, like Liam get a chance there last minute.
2 seconds, Joe.
How do you think he's got on? Because it's been tricky to jump straight in. And B, you know, does that play on your mind that, okay, this could happen to anybody, I've got to be ready to jump in at any point?
Yeah, I think Liam's doing an exceptional job. Very tricky circumstances in Zandvoort, being wet in P3 in qualifying, and then what even was that race on Sunday? And then Monza, going to somewhere where he was familiar with. I know that he did running in the Red Bull there in 22 as well for media day. So somewhere that was a little bit more familiar for him, and he did an exceptional job. So it's great to see someone like him getting a shot and then being able to perform as well. It's something that I'm here, I'm ready. Even for the likes of Singapore being a reserve, I was doing still, heat acclimation, trying to be ready just in case that would help in, so I'd be completely ready myself.
There's a new section then down towards 15 and 16, the back of the track that we've just been watching, Omi, as well. Drivers getting in 137.895. It is around about 9 to 10 seconds faster this track already, as Albon's going to go, I think, P1 coming across the line. He's certainly looking faster. Oh, only jumps to 11th, 139.115. Got held up with a lot of traffic, but finally, Singapore feels like it's got a bit more of a swing to it as well, doesn't it? It feels like it's a bit more flowing, a bit more easier to drive. I like the look of this track a lot more now.
Yep, absolutely, really does look great, and also in the night it's gonna look even more great, but we gotta be careful not to call the Williams the McLaren this weekend. I have a feeling that this weekend I might just call the Williams a McLaren at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be one thing to keep an eye on as Norris improves his time as well. But yeah, gonna be a really great weekend here at Singapore as well.
There's Verstappen.
Max?
Okay, quite aggressive downshift. And I struggle a bit mid to exit all the time. A lot of moving steer in every corner, basically.
So that's Max Verstappen just complaining over the radio about how the setup of the car is not just quite right yet. It is the first session in the first 9 minutes as well. So they're going to have to take a little bit of time to get used to it, a little bit of edge to it. Leclerc goes third, 136.368 on the hard tyre. Sargent up to 14th in the Williams in the Gulf livery this weekend. And this is Sergio Perez at a track he dominated last year with a brilliant race victory, it must be said. Dominated the weekend after Max had a penalty in qualifying that dropped him down to 8th place. It is a track that Max Verstappen struggles at, Omi, this one. So is it a weekend where we could see Perez fight back? I know the title's pretty much done, but for Perez's own mental health, could he get a race win? Or is the likes of Alonso, the Ferraris, even the McLarens, have they got a shot at taking a race win this weekend?
I think definitely this weekend would be a bit of an opportunity for all of the teams. Not the easiest circuit to overtake, even with the extra straight added. It's still a very challenging circuit to overtake at. So if you are able to put it on pole in qualifying, then that could really be great as well. And it could open the door and then you could find yourself with a tiny bit of a bigger chance. So out of the remaining race, I'd say this is one of the best opportunities for still anyone else if they want to win a race. Perez on the radio.
Struggle to see the apexes, so I might need to come up a bit with the seat.
So Perez needing to see more in his seat. I'm sure Helmut Marko's already thinking of something to say about that. He usually does these days. Helmut is here this weekend, by the way, so there'll be an interview on Sky Sports F1 after the session with Christian Horner. So we'll see what he says there. There's Danny Ricciardo, not driving on the pit wall this weekend. Hello, Danny Rick. He'll be on the F1 Kids broadcasts, we understand, this weekend, which is this weekend being done by F1 TV themselves, not Sky Sports F1. So F1 TV are running the F1 Kids. It'll be on the Sky Sports F1 red button if you want to see it as well. The kids back in charge. So they sweep back through. Down into the braking zone. This is now down turn 4 for George Russell. He's on the hard compound tyre. Norris, Ocon, Piastri, Gasly, Bottas and Albon have gone out there on the medium compound tyre. Everybody else out there on the hard tyre. As I said, they don't want to use too much. This first session, track acclimatization, more important than ever with the new layout, finding the braking zones, getting the setup right, not doing too many laps because it's a pretty useless session. We're in the daylight here, so they've got to sort of just wait for FP2 later, but it's going to be a very busy practice too. We see this stuff at Bahrain and Saudi Arabia and all the other night races we've got on the calendar that I can't be bothered to call out, but there's a lot on there, isn't there? So what is it? Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, 2 night races. Then we get Singapore, Qatar, Las Vegas, and Abu Dhabi. So 6 night races on the calendar this year. 6.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, the first session always can be a bit useless, really, in general, really. As they know, they have more time as well, so they chill a tiny bit. Obviously, the track improving all the way as well. They haven't had, obviously, they don't have Formula 2 and Formula 3 this weekend to also wrap the circuit up a tiny bit before FP1 for them as well, as more laps start to come in.
And across the line there as well. Russell goes 8th on a 1:36.964. Carlos Sainz, who is second fastest at the moment, is looking mighty impressive as he comes out the last corner and goes 1:35.718, which is a total of 3/10 fast. Hang on a minute, that time deleted for the stewards. So as Sainz lost it because he hasn't updated on our timing tower up here in the commentary box, it's still showing Norris fastest, not Sainz. So the gap is 1:35.718. So unsure why that's changed. That hasn't changed over on the T feed as of yet. Watch your footing. There's a frog somewhere around. I think it's gone out the door. And don't worry about the one that's already on the door. That one's ages ago, and it hasn't been moved. But there was a frog running around the commentary box somewhere. Just to let you know. So, Hulkenberg goes up to 8th with a 1:36 as well. Did you need me? All right, let's go quick over to Sky F1.
And work, but not necessarily for setup work for the next session.
So the long, boring days spent driving up and down an airfield are long gone, aren't they, for the teams?
P1 is for engineers, and P2 is for drivers, I think.
Jack, what happened with Alpine in Monza? As the team understood, because it was a pretty dreadful weekend, really, in terms of the results. Obviously, we were saying before, Monza is a one-off in terms of track layout. Have they understood why it was so sub-optimal, shall we say?
Yeah, exactly. We expected it to be difficult, and it ended up being a lot more difficult than initially thought. However, on top of that, we gained so much valuable data that we can take in, obviously, to the future in 24, but as well as somewhere like Las Vegas, which is going to be very close in similar aero levels. So definitely a one-off and a planned one-off. Yeah, it's very up and down, not only for us, but for Aston as well. We looked 1 week ago with when we were fighting against Carlos Sainz, Pierre passing him on pure pace, and a week later, almost being a lap down. And you have Fernando cruising to an easy P2 in Zandvoort, and then a week later, struggling to be in the top 10. So, it's certain teams at certain tracks are going to be up and down. I think it will be a lot like that for the remainder of the season as well.
We go from the heat here in Singapore to the freezing cold in Vegas, though. I mean, the track temperatures are going to be so cold.
Exactly, yes, and that'll play, obviously, crucial part into engine performance and also aero levels depending on the air pressure. So much can change. It'll be interesting to see how everything behaves.
Speed from max steering and opening up. I just have no traction and no steer.
Understood.
Apart from that, it's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's having much fun in that car.
He's only a 10th off, so once they fix all that, he'll be...
Yeah, hi George, watching along as well on the YouTube chat. Omi, Max sounds like he's in trouble again, but then again, this happens every first practice session. He doesn't seem to like it, does he?
He never seems to like it. The Red Bull always does take its time to just get used to things as well. But yeah, gonna be, I think, in FP2 they'll get it all sorted, and if not, maybe in FP3. But I think this weekend they will definitely be challenged somewhere, or Verstappen will be, maybe by his teammate Sergio Perez. And I'm expecting Perez to be tidying up a tiny bit more to the top once Verstappen steals the championship as well. So let's see how it goes. But the team Mercedes currently making their way through as well. Oh.
The Jean-Pierre Lampesi, the race engineer from Max Verstappen, watching on there with his head in his hands. Not the greatest, as usual. But yeah, weird to have a frog in the commentary box. It's gone, by the way. We think it's jumped out the door because we left the door open. But it's very unusual to see a frog at all. Well, to be fair, it's not really that bad, but they keep getting big ones. So the commentary box is now just Kermit the Frog. I'm waiting for Miss Piggy to turn up. But Megan's not in the commentary box until Sunday. Ooh. I mean that because she does karate a lot. She's going to kill me. She is going to kill me. I'm joking. Megan's not well at the moment. She's got a bit of a cold, so she's hopefully going to be with us for qualifying in the race. If not quali, then definitely the race. That's her main focus. I stayed on the main channel for a bit and I couldn't find it, but then remembered it, George. Yeah, I did put out a community post and it's on Twitter and everything because we're not there. We're not on the main channel. They're all here on JB Motorsports 2. That's where we'll be this week. And yeah. Basically, after this first practice session, that's live on JB Motorsports 2 and on Twitch. We'll replay the opening session on the main channel, so they'll all air there this weekend, but delayed, and then you'll automatically be redirected to where the live streams are. I know it's a mess around this weekend, but it's honestly the best we could come up with, thanks to Dorna blocking us a week ago.
Always really well planned.
Yeah. So
And also thank God you were talking, because I was about to say that was a McLaren, but Albon was very close to the wall.
Yeah, it's getting me as well. I know people. Oh, let's. Oh, no, I was just talking.
Yeah. You already heard from me.
I know so many people who are calling the Williams and McLaren this weekend as well. They've said to me in press briefings as well, is the McLaren going to be fast? The Williams going to be fast this weekend? So everybody's falling into that trap again as we count down towards turn 6 with Stroll into 7, braking hard, back up in third gear, 4th, 5th. Break down, Hamilton top, 1:35.571 from Sainz to clear. Norris, Verstappen, Russell, Ocon, Tsunoda. Norris back to the top, a 1:34.776. So he's still finding the boards. Lance Stroll, however, over the Anderson Bridge now. A little bit close into the braking zone for turn 13. I want to see the onboard. I know Jess did the lap and I've been looking at it, but I really want to see the live action onboard of this new section of the track coming out onto the opposite side of Raffles Boulevard. Straight down. Let's take a look at it now. So, small curve opens up. Used to be the runoff area, of course. So now it's a race area. Nice in the braking zone. That should be quite nice coming into the race, I reckon. It should be quite an easy opportunity to overtake.
Yeah, bit of a late send as well would be good. Then maybe you can force a defensive shape, then kind of set the move up, and then get closer possibly for a chance into turn 1 with the DRS as well. That would be really interesting. And obviously Leclerc got super close last year, didn't he? Before his tyres fell off as well. Yeah. So Leclerc got super close last year in Singapore. So
Stoffel Van Dorn
possibly
watching on. Hello, Stoffel.
Yeah. Hello.
George,
possibly.
Go on.
Go on.
I was going to say, George asking, how are you both doing? I'm not going to answer that, but go on, Amy, how are you?
Well, had a bit of a late night out yesterday.
Oh.
Because after PSGL, I couldn't do that yesterday. After that, I just decided, well, I'm just going to go outside then and have a bit of fun in the night. And then come back, sleep about at 2 a.m. and get ready for Singapore.
You've done well to get up in time then. I was moaning about that. I did not feel good at all.
Well, actually, Josh, I set an alarm for 10 a.m. and I actually woke up at 9 by myself.
Perfect.
So,
okay. I mean, I am surprised I'm doing the commentary because I did not feel like doing it at all. So I was honestly considering stepping away for Singapore and letting Meg and Jess and you deal with it as well and stepping away. But I'm here. I'm doing the commentary. I'll still be here. Got the new green screen.
He refuses to leave, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was calm. Say again.
Joshua refuses to leave, doesn't he?
Yeah. To be fair, we've got the green screen set up now. It's right behind us here, actually. If I lift it up, oh, hang on. So I got a break. If I lift it up, you can see the green screen just underneath, and the camera's still set up for it there. So the camera's got the green screen features on, and we can now swap incredibly easily with everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun getting all that sorted for the green screen stuff later on in the broadcast. As well, as we're just taking a quick photo of things as they've gone to an ad break at the moment on Sky Sports F1, and we're trying to get the audio back up and running for you to hear you on the circuit. There you go. And we'll go to the battle screen. Hamilton coming into the pit lane. I love how they're still saying it's round 16 of the championship, despite the fact it is round 15. We never raced in Imola,
yeah.
so I don't know why we count it.
Honestly, just give up with trying to name it round 16. You should just go back to round 15. Oh, it's so complicated, but it's made it a pain for all of us this year, because we're all having to use the extra phase officially as well, and it's honestly just getting really, really annoying as well. But yeah, we didn't race at Imola, we didn't really do anything at Imola, so don't understand what's the point, really.
I don't think anybody does these days as well. It's one of those things where we'll just have to sort of accept that it's going to be confusing until the end of the season, and then hopefully it'll get a little bit more entertaining. But right now, in this practice session for this interesting weekend ahead, it is Norris, Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton as well across the boards to keep it through. Magnussen's back in the pit lane, 2 Ferraris out on the circuit. As we look at Ocon and Leclerc as well. His Sainz back in. I can't quite tell on the TV pictures if he's moved in or not now, because it's all changed about. Sainz is in the pit lane. Leclerc, Russell, Ocon, Lawson, Alonso, Stroll are out there on the circuit, as you can see on your driver trackers in front of us. What is PSGL? Premier Sim Gaming League. It's the F1 Esports, where Omi, Jess and myself commentate. And Richie when he gets in.
Don't forget him.
So
yeah, just a bit of fun. If you watch F1 Esports, then I guess PC F1 on Wednesdays. They also have the esports live racing there, but I guess make sure you watch us as well on Thursday. Well, if you obviously watched.
I'm just gonna take a screenshot to see if it's possible to do anything with this F1 pit lane layout for the future. I don't know why they don't. F1 should do watch-alongs like we do. I don't know why they don't. They get so much. Like, I'm looking at the F1 TV battle screen right now, which is the pit lane monitor. They've got the track, and then they've got the onboard cameras. I know they did commentary on it, but if they put the Combox cam in one and then a driver track in the other and put that online, it would get millions and millions and millions of views. But then again, free-to-air stuff, you may as well just show the TV pictures, I suppose, instead of that, or the alternative stuff as it comes down. But Norris from Russell, Leclerc, Ocon at the moment. The top 4, Perez top 5 as they come through onto it. Let's return over to Sky Sports F1 from the Marina Bay session. 35 minutes to go. And the sun just beginning to set here. The time is 5 to 6 as well, so 17:55 over here in Singapore. 10:55 in the UK. UTC 9:55, of course. Boats going in, and it does look awesome, this track. Really awesome. And we've 25 minutes in only. No yellow flag, no red flag or anything like it. They've been very well behaved.
Yep, they absolutely have. But just taking the first session easy. No need to take some unnecessary risks, but gonna be interesting to see how FP2 goes later on. A bit more of an important session for the teams to learn more data as well for qualifying and the race. So gonna be really, really exciting. Let's head down to the pit lane though, Zach Brown.
Again, Zach, it's good to talk to you. It looks like the updates are working well for you.
So far, so good, but obviously very early in a dirty track. But Lando's reporting he's happy with what we're trying so far.
Zach, hi, it's Bernie. Just a quick question. What do you think of the revised track layout then? How do you think that's going to shake things up and either overtaking or the tyre degradation?
Hopefully it provides a little bit more opportunity for passing with another longer straight, but I think we're fine with it. Either way, I'll hear what the drivers have to say when they get out. Of course, it's Oscar's first time here.
How is Oscar getting on, Zach? We obviously know there's a difference in specification between the two cars, but is this a session where it's about, look, don't look at lap times, just build yourself in and build confidence on the track, getting close to the walls?
Yeah, absolutely. It's his first time here, and he's always very relaxed and a great student. So he'll just be taking it all in right now, understanding the track. And then Lando does have the developments this weekend, which will go on Oscar's car next weekend. So they're on 2 different programs at the moment.
Zach, I understand Oscar was a little bit frustrated after Monza. What conversations have you had? I think he just maybe felt unlucky in the race with the timings and Lando coming in first.
Yeah, we didn't execute that very well as a team, but we went karting the following day and had some fun, and he's fine. Of course, any racing driver wants to do their battles on the track, not in pit lane, but all fine.
And Zach, just looking ahead to next year, obviously you've got the updates here. Looking ahead to next year, presumably, is the 2024 car going to be fully developed in your new wind tunnel now? And how is that coming along? Because I believe you've only recently started working in there, haven't you?
Yeah, we started in the wind tunnel right after the summer break, and the 24 car has already been started. So I would say next year is a bit of a hybrid for us. And the car was started in the wind tunnel in Germany, and it'll be finished up, and then ultimately all the upgrades. So same thing with some of our other CapEx expenditures that we made, new simulator, things of that nature. So 24 will still be a little bit of a transition. 25 will have everything in place. And then, of course, we have some additional people joining us in the new year.
Can you tell us anything about that? Any areas you're focusing on with the new staff?
Well, we've got Rob Marshall joining us, and David Sanchez, who most recently was at Ferrari. So they're 2 very experienced people that will sit alongside Pete Padromo. Of course, Andrea's doing a great job leading the team, and there's about 800 people all coming together. So excited to have them join and bring their experience to what's already a team that's working really well together.
I just want to ask you one more, Zach. I know when you brought the last big upgrade, it appeared, and actually there are even some comments that the team was surprised at just how well it worked. Have you fully understood that now, and is this helping with the result of this one, or where does the team feel it's at in terms of understanding this car essentially for this season?
Yeah, we as we said at the start of the year, we knew we were going to struggle. So I think we've always had a good sense of the pace of our car, even when it wasn't going to be good. We knew that. We weren't surprised by the slow start to the year. Of course, Austria onwards was nice to see our developments work as we thought we would, and we think these are some good upgrades we've just put on the car, so hopefully that will correlate when come qualifying time.
Great. Thank you for the moment, Zach.
Cheers.
Thank you. Zach Brown there on the McLaren pit wall with Lando Norris top of the times right now as well, with those updates on his car on the medium tyres.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Gasly's been the first of the cars we've seen on the soft tyre, and still slower than Lando Norris's time, which was set earlier in the session. So in the McLaren versus Alpine battle that Jack was talking about before, it seems to have started well for McLaren.
There's a battle. I completely missed that, Ermi. Alpine have been on mission self-destruct for the past 7 races. There hasn't been anything. As Ted to the pits.
Every little winglet helps on high downforce circuits like Singapore, and while it's not an upgrade, we're seeing, I think, the return of a little old friend to the Aston Martin, and that's what they call the bow tie. Now this is a sort of successor. There he is, the little fella. It looks a little bow tie underneath the rain light. Now it's the sort of spiritual successor. This is the monkey seat, which was a little winglet that sat atop of the exhaust pipe, which is about as big enough to put a small monkey on, but this is the only big enough to put a small caterpillar on, maybe. So there it is. They call it the bow tie. What it does is sort of energize that rear wing diffuser, and the rear beam wing just helps the air come out of the rear of the car quicker. Aston Martin had it at Zandvoort, was off the car in Monza, and now I'm very happy to say, because I like it, I think it looks cute, it's back for Singapore.
Cheers, Ted. Thank you very much. As Piastri out there on the circuit. Yeah, I think the Alpine battle, we'll go back to that. Self-destruction, no doubt about it. And I think McLaren have just really got it back in the second half of the season. They've got the new camo livery this weekend, which is basically the side pod changing colour once again. It's been blue, it's been silver, it's been white, now it's black again. But I think Alpine are sort of out of it. They will stay 6th in the constructors as far as I can tell.
Alpine have had so many issues this year in general, and their cars colliding a lot of points as well. So at Alpine, it's just really, really chaos. I don't really see any improvements there, and I wouldn't really call it a battle. So I'm with you on that one.
As they come down then, Piastri out of the last corner, 1:34.776, fastest ever lap times we've seen around this track. It's now 1:35.695 for Piastri to go 11th fastest as well on soft tyres. So Lando still quick up on those mediums, as Karun said earlier on, a 1:34.776. He's just gone out there on a brand new set of soft tyre compounds actually, so that should be something to see. Piastri only managing 11th, so the track's still not gripping up. We've got a yellow flag, however, down at sector 7, and that is at turns 6 and 7, just down Raffles Boulevard. So I wonder if someone's locked up and gone straight on down the escape road. Can't tell who's there. Just I think it's not Magnussen, is it? Russell, Sainz, Hamilton? Could be Hamilton. Just having a look. No one's stopped on the driver track as far as we can tell. So the yellow flag sector 2. And I can't see what it is on the driver tracker. And there's a Ferrari coming back out there, so is Russell. They're saying it's Carlos Sainz, maybe, who's gone down the escape road or had a spin. The yellow flag is still out, though.
About debut or something on the circuit?
Could be something like that. Still yellow. Sainz is pulling off, getting out of the way of everyone. I'm looking around on the Ferrari to see if there's a problem. I can't see anything. There's the yellow flag, so it's after turn 7 into turn 8. There's a yellow flag, so it's not Sainz. So what's caused the yellow?
A confusing yellow, because we don't know what's it for. And we're staring at Sainz.
There. Oh, it's a lizard! Ha! For the second time in Singapore, there is a well, I just said at the start of the commentary that there was a frog in our commentary box. There is now a lizard on the track. Max Verstappen's going to say it again.
Tsunoda.
Oh, there's a lizard again on the track. A smaller one this time.
Okay, understood. Maybe Godzilla had a kid.
Brilliant. I mean, that makes sense.
The sequel that nobody expected has happened. Max Verstappen, like he did 5 years ago, has seen another lizard on the track. Unbelievable in this first practice session in Singapore. It had to be Max again.
Oh, just hilarious. Just hilarious. Oh.
There is a lizard on the track. I cannot believe it. Where on earth did that come from? That's the second time. It happened 5 years ago, and now it's happened again. Maybe Godzilla had a kid.
Oh.
Ha!
Absolutely.
And this is yellow flag is now gone, so the lizard's gone. And this is Sainz at turns 1, 2, and 3.
Bit wide.
Yeah.
Rejoining. Oh. Can't be a bit there as well. But yeah, further down, we thought it was Sainz first of all, but no, it was a lizard. But finally, after second, now green flag on screen. That was hilarious as well.
Lizard.
And a bit of a quiet FP1 session.
I have never expected to see a lizard. I cannot believe this. And what's even more funny is the fact is I've just told a friend of mine that I had a frog in the commentary box earlier, and now we're going to have to say, oh, by the way, there was a lizard on the track, an actual lizard. I've lost my marbles now in the commentary box. Sainz is up though in this sector as he comes round. So, okay, another lizard. Sainz found it. What I love is the fact is that Max said, oh, there's another lizard.
Yeah, absolutely. Loved that. But yeah, just a tiny bit of traffic for Sainz, a bit more clear for him now, as he now tries to take the lap record. This is just going to be continuous. People taking lap records now as well, holding on to it for a few seconds, and then someone else will take it, and someone else.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really, really interesting as well to see.
SHG just put on the Twitch chat. Lizard flashback in 2016. Haha, it's happened again. Yep, it's happened again. And we had a frog in the commentary box earlier. It's Reptile City. It's happened again.
I'm doing the Alex Jakes, it's happened again thing.
I'm honestly not. I cannot believe this. I'm looking forward to that text message back. Hamilton across the line, 134.155. Lando Norris looking fast at the moment. Sainz done a 133.944. He's gone fastest overall as he turns in, pulls on the power, and hurtles down into the last corner. What's this time then from Lando Norris? Is he quicker? It's a 133.522. That McLaren is 0.4 of a second faster than the Ferrari. In practice one alone, Omi. This is a really good start for McLaren, like really strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Only practice one though, so going to be interesting to see what happens later on. But still a great start. McLaren straight away, really on it. So let's see how they're going to be able to perform this weekend. Can they bring the fight to Red Bull? Can they beat Red Bull? And as we were talking about earlier, this would be one of their best opportunities to do so as well if they wanted to beat them. Where to watch? I want to watch you guys.
PSGL.
Yeah. Yes.
Just type in PSGL on
Easy,
YouTube,
you'll find it.
and you'll find it.
And then, then obviously PCF1 will come on. But I guess places for you to go is PSF1 on Monday.
That's Jess.
Then PCF2 on Thursday.
That's Richie
and
and me, but I'm not there this season. I'm taking a break.
Yeah. Then PCF3,
which is you. You've had the most promotions in 1 year. F6, F5, F4, F3.
Well, last season what I did was I did F7, then I did also F6 at times, and I did F4 on the PlayStation side. Then I came over here, then I did F5, and now I'm also doing F3 as well.
To be fair, I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of it, but what would help me the most if they've enabled crossplay to the broadcasters so that we could, because then it saves so much time. If that was possible, I would do it. I'd come back immediately. Because it means I could also do the streaming as well alongside Richie. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Verstappen?
Really interesting. But let's just hope. But crossplay obviously is a tiny bit buggy, and they probably want to keep it separate as well to avoid some of the issues. So for now, it looks like we're just keeping it PC and PS. Well, I guess some PlayStation commentators can get involved if the streamer actually has good connection, because they can screen share the OBS and I guess whoever from PlayStation's doing it, and I guess just come on.
Yeah, the beauty with what we've got here is that I can just share the screen to Rich exactly the same way we do right now with the TV pictures. Because that's how we do the commentary on the Discord, is that we can always see the TV pictures. And we're working on a way to get a comcam on me and Megan up here. But it's incredibly difficult. So we are looking for a way to get a comcam set up so that they can see us. Because at the moment, they can only see us on the YouTube chat. Or the Twitch, whichever one we're on. Ocon.
I was actually really up.
Oh, sorry, Ocon just went up to 7th, now 8th, because Verstappen's done a 133.476 and gone second fastest. Leclerc has gone top, 133.350, as 20 minutes to go in the session. Go on, Amy.
Yeah. I was a tiny bit upset that yesterday, though, that I couldn't do PSGL as well. But once I saw it, I waited till about, I'd say 8, just in case it just needed me anywhere else, if anyone turned down. But then I went off outside and, as I mentioned earlier, just chilled outside for a bit all the way till about 12 to 1, and then came back and got some sleep before this. So was a bit fun yesterday, but was a tiny bit at the same time upset, because I wanted to do. I really wanted to do Mexico. For some reason, I really just like Mexico, to be honest. Lap 1 especially. I really love the lap 1 at Mexico. Always interesting with the long run towards the first corner.
That first corner run is the best on the calendar. Some amazing positions down there as they come into it.
I remember I loved Sochi's 2021 as well. That was a brilliant opening up.
Sochi?
Well. Yeah, Sochi 2021, the opening up there. That's brilliant.
I'll tell you what, the one thing about that track, it was boring in real life, but it was amazing on the game. Always gave us great racing. And I so wish that we could have Malaysia back in both esports and gaming. I love Malaysia so much.
If they could just put in classic tracks, then PSGL and leagues will definitely use it. Because they still use Portugal, France and stuff. All EA got to do is just add it to the game and it'll be used.
Yeah, we would use Malaysia.
Yeah, we absolutely would. There's no reason to why not. I'm excited to see though what tracks are going to be announced for the final 2 rounds in PSGL as well. To see, because we still have 2 more rounds left, but we don't actually know which rounds they are. So, gonna be really exciting for me to see as well.
Weird how they've done this year's calendar. To be fair,
I think half of it was announced. And then the other half was announced, and then there was still 2 more rounds, which still need to be announced. And I've been looking at the PSGL chats. Everyone's been getting in their predictions that there could be this, there could be that.
Did we not race here in 21 or 22? So we did race here in 2020 or 2021 in Singapore.
Yeah, we didn't in 2020 and 2021. Then obviously returned here last year as well. Cracking race it was last year. We obviously had the 1 hour procedure delay as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
At the beginning.
That was fun, having to talk about nothing. And we could be for that again because the rain is predicted for Saturday and Sunday. So that could be a lot of fun.
Well, Josh, at least we've got more wafflers on the team then to help you now.
That is true, and I would personally love it if it got delayed by a couple of hours, because that means we might get our live streams back on the main YouTube channel. Which is, if that's the case, we're jumping straight over. Yeah, all I've got to do is click a button, and we're on.
Yeah, would definitely be a tiny bit fun with that. I've got one hub later actually on that night on the Singapore race day as well.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good as well. It's actually Las Vegas, I think.
Oh, is it Vegas?
And it's a sprint as well.
Oh.
Sprint to Vegas. Okay. So drama is gonna take place. Let's just hope there's not too much, but I don't know what is gonna happen in that race.
I'd like PSGL to do a couple of sprints, to be fair.
I don't think. Well, I think Connor doesn't really like sprints. I think that's why they don't do it. But I think WR do.
Yeah.
And obviously One Hub do as well. I don't really think PSGL will most likely ever do one, to be honest. As well. It would be fun. It would definitely be a tiny bit fun to see a bit of a sprint.
It may be in the non-championship events.
Well, are we doing any non-championship right now?
Not just yet. No, I'm going to be sweating. I'm going to be sweating Vegas over the next few days. Jess is having to do the lap attacks for Qatar and Vegas for us, which she's very kindly agreed to. But yes, it's not going to be fun. So we apologise, Jess, that you're going to have to go through that.
Well, I'm excited to see how Jess actually does in the One Hub race as well in Vegas.
That's
I'll
true,
probably be
isn't it?
watching about half of it before I go and do the P2 to Hamilton over the line P4 right now. But we always do have one session together, don't we? Alone, just in a weekend.
Yeah, it's always
we always
one.
do.
Although Josh T has just disappeared off the face of the earth. He wasn't in the commentary box for IndyCar on Sunday, and he hasn't been on the Discord. He hasn't texted any of us. So we've got no idea where he's gone. I hate it, absolutely hate it. Says Jess for Vegas.
I was laughing at
2
that.
seconds. Well, Russell's not happy. Who is that? Oh, it's Perez. Oh dear. I wouldn't say anything, George. You might get called out in the media.
Absolutely. But yeah, just I haven't commented over it. So for me, there is still some kind of thing that it could be that I don't know. It's basically step into the unknown. So for me, I'm not really gonna be crying about it. I guess I'm just gonna go into it and see what happens. But Mike said it's absolutely terrible to me. So I guess I'm still really excited for it, but I don't know how it's gonna go. So that's why I'm a tiny bit excited for it. So.
I'll tell you one thing though I'm a bit annoyed about is the fact that Max Verstappen can use derogatory terms against both Hamilton, Stroll, and other people, and he is just sort of it's commented on but then brushed away. Helmut Marko does it, and it's World War III. And I think we need to hold the same accountability that we do to Helmut Marko to Max Verstappen as well. And it's just, and to everybody really, it's not on. It is not on at all. So yeah,
Yeah.
Cross the line.
Unnecessary. Yeah,
Absolutely.
unnecessary comments. It really just is. But yeah, all of them coming over the line. Here is Charles Leclerc
yellow.
as well.
Sector 8. Now that's where. Now Sector 7 was where the lizard was. So is Sector 8. Has he come back? Have we got a second Godzilla? Yellow Sector 2.
Have we? Have we got another one?
Well, there's no one there on the track, I like to tell you. So this yellow must be for a lizard. Has to be, because Magnussen's going through okay, and no one else is there in that sector. So I reckon the yellow flag, it's in the same part, Sector 8. I reckon the lizard's back.
Oh, it's arrived. It's back.
Green
it's
flag.
happened. We need to see fast, but Verstappen, why don't we go on circuit right now, please? Oh, it's gone. Oh, the yellows are gone.
Yeah, back
Oh.
to green. Now, was it? It is the lizard. Lizard again.
Yay.
Second lizard. What is going on? The lizard is back. How is
Second
it?
lizard.
Science radio.
Right.
Another lizard returning. Copy it. Reporting.
I love how they've put the slippery surface flag out as well. But what flag do you put out for lizard? That's the question. And it's
I'm getting
still
a phone
there.
call, but
Look
I'm
it,
not
look.
replying.
I can still see the tail. I can still see the lizard's tail. It's just in between the MSC boardings. Has it gone? Yeah. Wow. Lizards at 2 today, yeah.
I'm getting one of those scam calls.
Oh, I got one of
I'm
those,
busy.
yeah.
Singapore. Let me enjoy a bit of FP1 without me getting called now.
That's funny. My phone rang during the first lizard attack. And yours rang around the second. What's that one flash on my timing screen? Leclerc still looking good.
Is our description of this session going to be another weird session or something?
Aquatic, maybe.
Yeah.
Reptilian, maybe, because I had a frog in the commentary box. And then there's a lizard. There's 2 lizards on the track. I think it's the same lizard as well.
It's honestly been a hilarious first practice, though.
How on earth has a lizard got onto the track? I can't. I didn't understand it in 2016. I don't understand it now. Ted.
Could be Loretta.
Well, then Larry also covers Loretta.
Not really.
Almost.
Anyway, what they should do is follow the organisers at the Ile Notre Dame in Canada, of course, where they set humane traps for the wildlife. They bait the traps with lots of things that lizards likes to eat, and then they deposit the lizards once they've gone into these humane traps on some other part of Singapore, or keep them in a little lizard holiday camp until
I feel
they
like this
finish.
is a notebook special.
Well, that's
coming
what they
up
do
here.
to deter the
I feel-
groundhogs.
I feel like you're going to go on a lizard hunt later, Ted. It's got you written all over it.
Good subject for the F1 show, Rachel. I'll do it for you later. What I did
Awesome.
want to tell you about was Haas F1, who Nico Hülkenberg has just left the garage. They don't have any upgrades on the car. What they do have, hopefully you can see down here, is a brand new central console in the garage. Now, those of you who watch Formula One very often,
Oh, yes, we've got it, we've got
will
it,
notice
we
that a lot of teams have this central console. I think McLaren probably the first ones to come up with it. Mercedes have it, Ferrari have it, Red Bull don't have it, really. There's just one little central console, pretty much for Paul Monaghan in the middle of the garage. But now, Haas used to have their engineers on the side of the garage, which funnily enough is where Red Bull have theirs. But they've now decided to put Gary Gannon and Mark Slade and their support engineers in the middle of the garage, like the majority of the F1 teams. So that is new for this weekend.
Do they still have the smallest pit wall?
Yes, the pit wall is still only 3 people. Pete Crawler, the team manager, Gunther Steiner and Ao Komatsu, which is, I think you can see it now. It seems to get smaller every week I look at it.
It is,
It
isn't
seems to get even smaller. Maybe just Gunther's been on a diet, I'm not quite sure. But when you compare it to AlphaTauri next door, which had 7 seats and now has 8, because it
Wow.
has to keep Daniel Ricciardo on there as well, you can really see the difference in how many people each team think is important to have on the pit wall.
Great, thank you, Ted.
Cheers, Ted. On board with Alexander Albon over the Anderson Bridge into turn 13. And this first practice session has been one of the strangest. And yet Singapore always does deliver one of the strangest. Question, when do you see... what's this question? When do you... I can't see because of the... question, when do you start doing this, Joshua and Obi, when you join? I started doing... Oh wow, this is a complicated one. Okay, I started commentating on Formula One in 2004. So yeah, long time ago. I then started doing YouTube in 2019 after doing 2 seasons on Facebook in 17 and 18. So I had a Facebook page, 17, 18, then just went to YouTube because it was easier. And that's been that ever since. And then now on Twitch as well. And so, yeah. But in terms of streaming, we started that in 2020. Every session, we used to do like little report videos, but in terms of these commentaries, recording them we used to do for years. And then in terms of this, the actual streaming of them all and everything, that began in 2020. And then our first full season was 21. Amy joined at the start of this year, though.
When did I start? Well, obviously I started watching it in 2017. Then about, I'd say in 2020, I actually started commentating on F1, F2 and F3. Those are the ones I actually started commentating. Did have a few rounds off though, but once that was sick, I just decided to watch it. I think, and then I guess I continued doing that. Then for this year, I had a plan to record them. I had a plan to record all of the F1s, F2s, and F3s. So I guess kind of just updating it. But then, so I did that for Bahrain. I recorded them, and then, well, I made my way here then instead.
Jess, it was Jess.
But the ones I still actually have recorded, I still actually have the F2s. Some of the ones which I wasn't here for. When we didn't have the pit lane thing. I have the Saudi Arabia feature race that I also recorded, and the Australia feature because I think I was with you guys for the Australia sprint, and then I think Saudi sprint as well, and Baku sprint. I think me, Jess, and Josh decided to watch it in the VC call, and then Baku feature race was actually my last one, doing it outside of here. So and then obviously I made my way here. So here I am.
Jess just said what I was going to say. Omi found you from me. She said, yeah, that's true, yeah. Jess brought you in back in Saudi Arabia. So, yeah. So, technically, you joined at the same time as Bernie Collins joined the Sky F1 team. So, you're fine.
Yeah. I guess a very, very long talk, though. A very, very long, well, not too long, but I guess my times have been very complicated. I started doing, well, I'd say esports properly.
Yeah.
Not really proper esports. I started doing Roblox for about 2020. I started doing that kind of commentary for 2020.
Oh,
I started commenting in general in 2019. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable.
I've just realised something.
What?
Well, a friend of mine yesterday sent me a text message saying it was 3 years ago since we did a long bike ride around Grimsby during the lockdown. So it was just getting eased up, so we were allowed to go see one person. And that means it was 3 years ago yesterday that I started commentating esports. So it was 3 years ago yesterday. Wow. Wow, okay. That's
interesting.
That's supposed 3 years. Wow. Okay. That means my computer, I'm looking at the commentary box, is 3 years old. Adam says, hi Josh and Amy, have a fantastic day and a wonderful weekend. Enjoy Singapore. Thank you, Adam. Hopefully you have a great weekend too, my friend. George says, haha, sorry guys, we got a lizard again.
Oh.
We have another lizard.
Yay.
Track surface is slippery, sector 8, the yellow's back out. So, the lizard's return for the third time. Back to the lizard 3 as well. So, let's take a look at it. Well, actually, this is the fourth, isn't it? So, 4 lizard appearances now in Singapore. 3 in one session. So, can we have a look at it? I know we were here to see racing cars, but everybody, I think everybody would agree with me watching would rather see the lizard.
Oh, yeah. Come on, take us to the camera. Come on.
The lizard's probably eating the cameraman, so that's probably why. That's probably that. Cut to the lizard, and it's Liz Cam as well as they come through. Come on, can we see it? Well, we're going to see it anyway, because we're coming up to that part of the track anyway with George Russell. The yellow flag is still out, as is this. Oh no, it's gone green now.
Aww.
Who's directing this? Show us the lizards.
We don't want to see. We've already seen this, and we're going to see quite
There
a
it
bit more.
is.
Oh, there it is.
Yellow's back out again. There's the lizard again. Whoa!
Another lizard, but one this time.
How did you know it's a different
I was
one?
going to say, I mean, that's good recognition.
Be
for-
careful.
It is. It's a different lizard.
There's cards. Be careful.
Oh, so that's 3 lizards. So have they got like a lizard enclosure down there at turn 8 or something or other? Because there's so many down there now.
Yeah. There absolutely could be.
That'd be
maybe
fun.
they just start well, if Verstappen's dominating, how about we just block the circuit with them? How about they all just come on, block the circuit, cause a bit of a red flag?
I was just
Yeah.
thinking that would be the strangest red flag. Lizard invasion, turn 8. Red flag race stops. We've had groundhogs, and now we've got lizards.
We had weird stuff, but that would definitely be somewhere up there.
Is it still there? Yellow flag is still out going to my screen. Is it gone? Yeah, it's gone. Lizard's gone.
Well, it lasted a tiny bit long, but yeah, no worries, Josh. Not Josh. I was talking to George for the complicated questions. I actually like it. I like actually answering questions as well sometimes. really fun. And also, I think he was the one who asked about what was the question you asked last time? I can't even remember. That was still meant to. That I actually still owe him an answer for as well.
All 3 yellow flags in this session have been for lizards. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
SHT
all
says.
drivers are. Yeah, they're all driving a bit clean, but it's only lizards.
Oh, look at that setting sun shot. That's great.
Ah,
coming
love
from
it.
Zone.
And Alfa Romeo and Ferrari making their way through it. So this is just incredible. I really enjoyed this session. Really have enjoyed it.
Man Lizard episode 3 is my home track cursed with lizards this year. Yeah, SHT. How many lizards do you usually get in Singapore? Tell us. Is it a normal
want to
thing
know.
to see all these? Because that's 3. Love to know. Lizards like the natural habitat for them or something. It's very warm and humid, of course. It is night, so. Oh, I've never seen. We had one lizard back in 2016 or 17, whatever it was, and now we're at 3 this year alone. Really strange. Plus, I wouldn't like to be the marshals. We're standing there and all of a sudden a lizard comes between your legs through the little porthole thing that they've got there. Oh. Martin Brundle's on his track walk later. I think he might be going with a safari hat or something or other. So, Lando comes back
Nice
through.
Instagram profile of the Singapore weekend time.
Yes, of course. Omi's birthday on Sunday, so get your birthday comment in for Sunday. Hopefully it's going to be yours. Yellow again!
Oh,
It's
Right.
back! And the checkered flag's out as well.
the check flag is out, and so is the lizard.
Yeah, there it is.
Hopefully.
There it is. So where is it now? So there's a slippery... There it is on the circuit.
Oh! I thought Noah's was gonna run over it there.
I think somebody has.
Oh.
Hulkenberg's taken the flag. Lando avoided it. 4 lizard appearances in FP1. Unbelievable. Yeah, 4 lizards. And it has put out the yellow flag in Sector 8.
Yeah. Absolutely, just really. Actually, another weird one, but it's just been so. It's really been a funny one, a hilarious one, I have to say.
Lizzie. I mean, we need to think of a song now, don't we, for it as well? It's like Attack of the Alligators in that episode of Thunderbirds as well.
I've heard there's actually going to be a fun one, because then I have one hub later that night at Vegas. If it goes well. I'm hoping that I enjoy it, but I don't know. If there's constant crashes everywhere. But one thing I do want at Vegas is 3 wide, which I think we'll surely get on that
Yeah.
on the Vegas tip somewhere, so that'll be exciting.
I want Codemasters to add lizards. I do. Add
That's the
random
weirdest
lizards.
suggestion I've ever heard.
I want lizards on the Singapore track. That'd be hilarious. Add in wildlife. Add groundhogs to Canada. Add billionaires to Las Vegas. Everyone you hit is for £5 or something. Basically, just turn F1 into Grand Theft Auto. That'd be brilliant. Actually, they've already done that. Grand Theft Auto got some F1 games, haven't they? On there, they can drive the F1 cars. 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s.
Give me a commentary box that I can walk in.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, hello. Are you bringing me biscuits? Hello. So
Is
how
that
many
Megan?
biscuits? No, it's David. 1 biscuit.
Uh.
2 biscuits. 3 biscuits. Yummy.
Go.
And oh, good idea. Tin of roses. But look at this. 3 Jenny Gow, if you're watching. I know you do, Jenny. 3 full packets of bourbons. Very nice. And I know what he's thinking, David. Should we put some of them away for Christmas? And my answer to that is no. They'll all be gone by the end of the weekend. Thank you.
sure you
3
will.
full things of bourbons. Look at that. Hoo-hoo-hoo. And they're the best kind as well, because Morrison's ones don't have any sugar on them. Whereas Tesco, if you're in the UK, they have sugar on them, which when you dunk them in your tea or your cocoa, it tastes a bit funny. But these don't have any sugar on them, so they're the pure biscuit, and they're very tasty too. So there's your biscuit report. So three full things.
We're
That's
bringing
all
a lot of different reports, aren't we now?
Well, hang on. It's around about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's around about 100 biscuits in my hands right now, of bourbons. I need a tin. No, that's a bad idea. They'll just all get eaten. I'll just sit there going like that all night. I can go through half a pack of those right now as well. It's not cigarettes with me. It's bourbons. I'll just go through half a pack. Fantastic. Right, cars on the track. They're doing their practice starts. This is Carlos Sainz. I'm here. Quick look at the halo. He's second. Look at the eyes, Omi. Completely focused. Great stuff indeed.
Yeah. Absolutely. SHG saying 4 Lizard appearances in FP1. Unbelievable. I won't be surprised if there's more Lizard appearances in FP3. Let's see if we can beat 4. Let's see if we can get to 5 tomorrow in FP3 as well. And George saying my complicated question last time was the worst time to commentate. Oh yeah, I remember that one actually. Well, I'll answer that for you in FP2 then. But here's the results, John.
First practice then goes to Charles Leclerc and a Ferrari 1-2 with Carlos Sainz in second. Max Verstappen goes third with Lando Norris in fourth, Lewis Hamilton fifth and George Russell in sixth position, so 3 Brits in a row. Sergio Perez is seventh with Fernando Alonso in eighth, Yuki Tsunoda ninth and Esteban Ocon rounds out the top 10. Stroll is 11th, then that's followed by Gasly in 12th, Alexander Albon 13th, Valtteri Bottas is 14th, Kevin Magnussen 15th, Liam Lawson 16th, Nico Hulkenberg 17th, Zhou Guanyu is 18th, Oscar Piastri 19th, and Logan Sargent is in 20th position. Not a bad race then for the first practice session of the Singapore Grand Prix. Omi, what's been your thoughts on it?
Well, I've enjoyed the Lizards mostly. Other than that, it's been cars driving around the new layout, so I really enjoyed that as well. We're in for a brilliant rest of the weekend.
Practice 2 is live on JB Motorsports 2 and Twitch at 1:45 p.m. and then straight after it will be uploaded to the main YouTube channel and premiered like Practice 1 has been. Practice 3 tomorrow 10:15 a.m. live again, JB Motorsports 2 and Twitch. Qualifying 1:45 p.m. live, both streamed after. Race live, lights out at 1 p.m. One air at 12 p.m. JB Motorsports 2 and on Twitch, and then the full race will be replayed right after. My thanks to Omi for the first session. My thanks to all of you at home as well. We'll be back now on JB Motorsports 2 for the second practice session on Twitch as well. It's a difficult weekend, but for Lizards, Max Verstappen not on the pace. Ferrari 1-2 at Singapore. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.